www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. That's www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. We often hear how we need to go together. We're actually doing. You can make online donations and click on links to track the progress of Unity and Rebuilding. And for more information, 313-868-0000 the local number. Again, 313-868-0000. Support the Unity and Rebuilding.
That's not a substitute self-worth reading card and still couldn't find the one that echoes itself. So first know more and call the 958. We offer birthday cards. Our cards are one of a kind keepsake items that your recipients will want to place on their mantle with all of their other beautiful and treasured items. We also offer holiday cards. This designed by these, not holidays will go unnoticed. Our unique greeting cards are sure to celebrate all holidays. We also have cards for special occasions. One-stop shop for unique and three-dimensional, handmade greeting cards for all occasions. Specializes. We also face custom orders. Every card is crafted with care and lace flow. The cost of our these text at 601-451-9536 or visit our website www.designbythesonline.com.
You're watching WE. Enjoy. FM 88.1 WHBR, Highland Park, WBIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands. We would like to invite you to support the efforts of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. This is the website at www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. That's www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. We often hear how we need to work together. We're actually doing. You can make online donations and click on links to track the progress of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. And for more information, 313-868-0000, the local number. Again, 313-868-0000. Support the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
Come check out the Institute Place to Hair Braiding and Natural Hair Salon, located at 18070 Mount Elliott Street. Our new salon is spacious with adequate parking, Wi-Fi, and all things state-of-the-art salon equipment. Come meet your local hair braiders and natural hair care specialists, and check out our many hair care services, such as hair treatment, box braids, cornrows, tree braids, cabana clips, children's braids, necklace clips, lock extensions, kinky clips, guided blocks, updos, wool weaves, and more. Please feel free to visit us on the web at www.sistersbraid.com or call 313-826-0498. Here at Sisters Braid 2, we offer exceptional care for exceptional care. We look forward to seeing you. Sisters Braid 2 is a proud recipient of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPF, its affiliates, management, or sponsors. Brothers and sisters, are you tired of the Holy Scriptures and not really understanding what you read? And it's like reasonably sure. Have you ever tested that what you feel? No, someone at all. So let's talk to one another. Let's read your choices is going to pay. A live broadcast every Sunday.
The recording has started. Conference is being recorded.
Why don't you call and discuss the Holy Bible, baptize the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and the truth? So there's no scriptural discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12:02 right here on TV33, FM 88.1 WHBR and Comcast cable. You can call in live on the air at 868-0342 and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 3. That's 313-868-0342, 868-0342, and 868-0354. And now let's go live. Scriptural discussion of man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet you all who are hungry and thirsty for truth of righteousness. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. I want to start with those who may have disagreements with us and anything that you have heard me teach or seen me do. You're welcome to discuss it. I will be more than happy to have an open discussion about it. You know, if you do something in the public, then you can't say that you don't have to explain yourself in the public if you did it in the public. And you can't say that it's not the public's business, because if you didn't want it to be the public's business, you shouldn't have did it in the public. Do you understand? You know, it's just like this Mr. Kavanaugh. You know, a woman made an accusation that he tried to rape her at a party, at a public party. Well, if that is the case, then he needs to clear his good name. Huh? I'm surprised that a judge would not want an investigation. Huh? I mean, it's a man already sitting on the circuit federal court. I mean, that's something that he need to clear up for his reputation's sake. You understand? But he don't want to. He's quiet. He say he didn't do it. Well, you know, if he got his buddies, they say he didn't do it. He said he wasn't at the party. He sure couldn't have did it if he wasn't at the party. Right? You know, he got a good memory. So I sure couldn't tell you what parties I was at. I don't even remember all the parties I went to. Shoot, I see people all the time. They say, "Hey, long time no see, man." I don't even know who they are, and they know me. I feel, you know. So you know, sometimes it becomes very evident that something just ain't right. You know. I mean, if nothing else, the least he could have said was, "I'll take a lie detector," since she says she took one. I'll take the lie detector. But he ain't took that either. So, you know, I mean, I have to do what I have to do. Now, I can't, like I said, I recognize that this is white people's country. And I know that about a third of the country, because I'm black, could give less than a damn about what I say. because you just ain't never going to change. That's why we said it's written that I will certainly fill hell with gin and men. Even though now that it's out that I'm your father. You know, kind of like remind me of when now it may be funny to you, but it is a little humorous because even in the movie Star Wars, now Luke was a good guy, wasn't he? Just to find out that his daddy was the one that was raising all that hell. Is that right? Well, it's just like you a bad guy, just to find out that your daddy is God. Now, I mean, especially your daddy is the one you've been trying to get rid of. And now you just caught between the rock and the hard place. You look to your scientists. If they know how to, they done learned how to, we gave them the ability to get to Mars and get to the moon and all that. So they ought to have the ability to tell you who your daddy is. Go ask them. You know, that's why they got the movie Planet of the Apes. You remember in Planet of the Apes? Now, them old ones, they knew the whole truth. They were just keeping it hid. Right? Where you thought you got that idea from? There's not a white scientist that's written. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land that who gave you? You know why? You know why we represent ourselves to you as the Asiatic black man? You know why I'm called that? Asia means earth. And the black man is the only one on the planet that can actually refer to himself as an Asiatic man. Meaning, wherever we go on this planet, we at home because it belongs to us. What you have in the way of land is what we gave you after we made you. Now, any of you out there that want to argue with me on that, come on. Let's talk about it. I welcome you coming in here to talk about it with me. And I'll give you $20,000 and pay with my life for lying. You bring the pistol, I stick it to my own head and blow my brains out for lying to you if what I'm saying ain't true. Now, it's something that I have to share with you because you done, as the book say, your sins done reached unto heaven and God have remembered your iniquities. They ain't just thoughts no more. Your sins ain't just stuff you thinking about. No, it's stuff you doing right in front of me. You stand up and tell a lie and forget that you just lied a month ago or a year and a half ago about something. And now you're doing just the opposite of what you said should be done. So, I like to give people justice. So I'm going to show you that I'm not just standing up here winging it. In the 3rd chapter of Ezekiel, and I'm going to start at the 17th verse. And if your title ain't Son of Man, it ain't talking to you. It says, Son of Man. It's 17th verse. Son of Man, I. That's a personal pronoun. When you read the scriptures, you are actually reading God's words. And everybody under the Duke Leto Atreides was called House Atreides. Is that right? It's just like when you playing cards. Everything that's got a red heart on it is of the same suit. Is that right? Okay. Jacob, his name was changed to Israel. So if you say the house of Israel, you are actually saying the house of Jacob. Do you understand? Is there anyone disagree? You see, people a lot of times they try to say, well, I didn't believe that. Then somebody can, when he come up to you trying to urinate in your ear and say, well, the man asked you, or who didn't agree, why didn't you say something when he asked who disagreed? Was you scared? Now, my next question is, obviously you were scared to say that to him, but you ain't scared to say it to me. Now, why is that? I'll tell you why it is, because you have fixed in your mind that I don't know. So you will come up to me trying to poison me because you know I don't know. I'm trying to show you how people do you. A con man only go try to con people that he think he can put it over on. You start asking too many questions, he gone and gone about his business. He said, I can't talk to you. There was. Now, I want you to pay attention, because I'm getting around to the Senate and the House of Representatives and even the Supreme Court justices. I'm talking to everybody who exercises authority over the masses of the American people who don't give a damn about us. You better take a walk, man. Woman, whoever you are that think you can still in this day and time make evil, make wrong seem right, and make right seem wrong, you better resign. See, I've been mulling over things in my head. And it dawned on me, I don't have to pray for Allah to get you. All I got to do is do my job. So he's justified to get you. It's written, if I had not come and spoken unto them. You know, I told you every whipping starts with, didn't I tell you? You about to get it, boy. All of you about to get it. Now, let me show you. He says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Now that covers every human being on the planet. Even black people, because Jacob was one of our brothers. So in that sense, he's of our household. We ain't of his, he's of ours. Do you understand? As it's written, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I didn't hear you. So don't get confused. Jacob ain't my Lord. He your Lord. I'm his Lord. See, and the wonderful thing is, you don't have to know that. I'm the one that needed to know that. I was dead. I ain't dead no more. No, I'm all the way live now. I remember when I was much younger, one of our sayings was, that's all the way live, man. Yeah. Yep. The messenger said it in 74. He said, come on in, brother. Have a seat. Sit him down over there. Crown him. Put him on good shoes. You know, you don't get no better shoes to walk in than to walk in the shoes of people like Moses and David and Solomon and Jesus and Muhammad. Them are shoes that I feel. And they told you that I would feel that shoe. Just like when I told you I was going to stop your mouth from insulting me. I done stopped it, ain't I? What's wrong with that thing? All right. So now let's get into this. See, you know they don't give you all the bad news at the same time. You know, you have to go and check. You know, they didn't tell you about all the tornadoes that was hitting. You have to go find that out on your own. But there's a whole lot of stuff about to come down on you because it's time to destroy those who destroy the earth. So I want you to pay attention. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth. Now, this is how you know who I am. Look how long you've been studying the scripture or trying to study the scripture and couldn't understand the words you were studying. You was just guessing at it. You know how when you can't understand somebody, you say, what'd you say? I didn't hear you. You know they were saying something, but you couldn't understand them, huh? So you said you couldn't hear them. What you really meant when you said you couldn't hear them was that you couldn't understand them. Is that right? But look what Allah said to me. He said, therefore, hear the word at my mouth. Every messenger of God was the mouth of God. Where's your proof of that, mister? Well, that's over there in Exodus, ain't it? Come on, keep up. Where's that? Come on, some of y'all tell me. I know you know. What chapter of Exodus? The 4th chapter of Exodus. You notice, Genesis, I want to call your attention to something. For those of you who think the Bible ain't right and exact. In Genesis, Abraham is told that his seed is going to be a slave. What's the next book after Genesis? And afterwards shall they come out. What do Exodus mean? With one like Moses. Okay, now let's get back to Exodus here. Exodus what? The 4th chapter. And what verse? Come on. Don't make me pull teeth now. It says, this is the, let's start at the 13th verse. Let's go to the 11th verse. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, who have made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb or deaf, or the seeing or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore, go, and I will, well, let's prove that's true. How many times have you looked at something and said, what is that? Huh? And you couldn't see it, huh? Who hath made the seeing, and who have made the blind? See, most people think that to see is just you perceive something with your eyes. That's not seeing. Seeing is actually knowing what you're looking at. That's why it's written, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That's why all of the prophets, they were pure in heart, and they all, as it says, every eye shall see him. You see, the eyes is in the head. Okay, now let's get back to this. It says, now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth and teach thee what thou shalt say. Because Moses was trying to say he couldn't talk too good, huh? Okay, now, and Moses then said, he said, oh, my Lord, now you sin, I pray thee. Now, do you sin? I pray thee by the hand of him whomsoever you will. Now, you can sin who you want to. I know that. Moses was scared of Pharaoh. And so he said, yeah, I was scared of white people. How in the world you gonna live in America knowing what white people are capable of and knowing what they did to you and me? How you gonna tell me that you ain't scared of white people? Yeah, I was scared of them. I was scared of them. That's why I came to Mississippi. I learned that from white people. You got to confront that thing that you're afraid of, otherwise you ain't never gonna be. And so Allah, as good as said to me, he said, so you think I'm just God in California? Did I stop being God Riverbed? You get yourself on over there. So So I went. I'm here. And I found out that I don't need to be scared of white people. I need to be scared of God, who made white people. Huh? So it went on and said, it said, in the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. You know, it's just like if you had a daddy like I did. Man, my daddy told me to go do something, and and I told him, it's some boys right there gonna beat me up. Boy, what did I just tell you? Get your behind right there and do what I said. If you think they're gonna get you, you better go do what I said. And so I was more scared of him than I was of them. Do you understand? And you know, I didn't realize that they even that. He wasn't gonna let nobody bother me. So a lot of times I looked up and saw his car coming, and I didn't know what he was even doing there. He was watching me. So anyway, it says, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well. You think I don't know that? Pharaoh can speak well. Then how come God didn't choose him instead of me? Why didn't he choose Pharaoh instead of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? It's more to being a representative of God than being able to speak well. It ain't about can you speak well. It's about who you're loyal to and what you really want to be. If all you want is to be seen and heard, God can't use you. Because in order to be seen and heard, you will say whatever you think people want to hear, just so they'll come look at you. So anyway, he said, I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh. He cometh forth to meet you. And when he see you, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and will teach you what you shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people. And he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. And thou shalt be to him instead of God. Huh? So to Aaron, you're going to be God. And he's going to be your mouthpiece. Huh? So now, so when he said, hear the words at my mouth, every messenger of God was the mouth of God. And since I'm the only one who understands their words, then it stands to reason that all of this was written to me. I didn't hear you. Now, so go back to Ezekiel, 3rd chapter. The last sentence after them colons says, therefore, hear the word at my mouth. Understand what you read in the scriptures from my messengers. You notice the mouth is the messenger of the brain, of the mind. Is that right? Okay. And it says, and give them warning from me. Give them what? Say, give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. Let me give you an example of thou shalt surely die. You need to know these things. I'm gonna give you an example now. This is just an example. Show you that Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't no dumbbell. Abraham Lincoln believed in the Bible. And a whole lot of other people up there did. You think the white man kept the Bible around here in this country all this time because he didn't believe in it? He knows it's the word of God. All right. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Now I'm just giving you an example. That when I say to the wicked, now is that what the book said? When I say to the wicked, thou shalt surely die. And thou givest him not warning. So why is it that I got to warn him? Because I'm the one that come at the end of the wicked's time and the work that he's doing. It would be unjust to just come and kill everybody that's still working, doing evil. So Allah tells me, son of man, I didn't send you to kill these people. I sent you to try to save them. He didn't send Jonah to Nineveh to destroy Nineveh. He sent Jonah to Nineveh to see if Nineveh could be saved. Do you understand? Now, if you too stupid to accept the salvation that I'm offering you, you deserve everything you're going to get. Because if anybody ever had a reason to want to take revenge, it's me. It's black people. But because I'm not like you, that what happened to me was God's will, I'm through with that. I don't blame you. I don't blame nobody. I accept Allah's will. That don't mean I like what you did. That simply means that I understand why it was done. And Allah have made me understand that, look, you know, that's not their fault. If you want to be mad at somebody, I'm the one that said that's got to happen. I made them, and I told them what to do. No, I ain't mad. I remember my daddy used to ask me, you call yourself mad? I said, no, sir. no, I ain't mad. Why? Because if he got on me about something, or if he put me in something, he did it because he thought it was best for me. And 9 times out of 10, matter of fact, 99.9 times out of 10, it was best for me. What better way to learn the lesson of treat people like you want to be treated than to let me be mistreated? To experience being mistreated. Just because somebody had the authority and the ability to mistreat me. And if I thought that was ugly, and I did, then perhaps if I make it out of that and make it back to the throne that I once was on, then maybe I will remember that lesson and never mistreat people just because I can. So, in Ezekiel, he said, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give a warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way. What is his wicked way? Turn to the Holy Quran, chapter. Let's go to chapter 15. It's in there in more than one place, but that's since we're there. To chapter 15. It says in the 28th verse, and when thy Lord said to the angels, I'm going to create a mortal. Create there means raise or teach. He said, I'm going to create a mortal of sounding clay, of black mud fashioned into shape. So when I made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down, making obeisance unto him. So the angels made obeisance, all of them together. But Iblis, Satan, did it not. Iblis is the devil. And you notice the natural mind, the natural man came first. And he thought he was better than the spiritual man. You see? The devil know he mistaught you about God and the devil. He taught you that the devil ain't real and God ain't either. I'm talking about the devil under the ground. So anyway, that made you not want no earth, huh? That's a good way to make you not want none of this earth. The devil is in there. You say, well, he can have it. I don't want it. Okay. But anyway, so Iblis, he wouldn't submit. Remember, the scripture says the natural man cannot discern spiritual things. And that which he can't understand, he can't be patient with it. He can't go along with it. You understand? So the natural, this world never went along with the prophets. Remember the rich man that Jesus said, if you would be perfect, go and sell your property, give all and give to the poor and come follow me. He dropped his head, didn't he? As if to say, you must be out of your damn mind. sorry. You know, he didn't just drop his head. Man, I done worked all my life for all this money. You just might give it away. You got to be crazy. Excuse me. Ain't learning fun. Yeah. You thought he just dropped his head and walked off. Oh, man. Would you have just dropped your head and walked off? Or would you have told him you out of your mind? I ain't finna give you all my money, man. Is that right? All right. So Jesus said, hardly will a rich man enter into the kingdom. It's easier for a camel to get on his knees and crawl through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. Because generally, people with wealth, it makes them proud. And you hear them say, they say, I must be doing something right. They don't even know what they're doing right. That's why they say, I must be doing something right. Trying to figure it out yourself. No, you ain't got to be doing something right to make a lot of money, especially in a world where it's more expedient to do wrong if you want to make a lot of money. Ask Brett Kavanaugh. He don't mind lying and hooking and crooking Donald Trump. Bunch of liars up there. They about to get it, though, because I'm doing what I should have been doing. I should have did this a long time ago, but now I'm going to do it now. You see? So, it said, oh, it ain't going to do you no good to turn it off, because I'm doing it now, and if you don't listen, that's you. Allah said, warn him whether he hear you or whether he refused to hear you. Okay. So Iblis, he wouldn't submit. And so Allah said to him, oh, Iblis, Satan, what is the reason that thou art not with those who make obeisance to the Son of Man? Why you don't do it? And he said, I'm not going to make obeisance to a mortal. You hear people say that all the time. I don't submit to no man. Is that you done said it? I told you, you looking for the devil. You ain't got to look for. Go look in the mirror. You've been carrying the devil around inside your brain ever since you've been on the planet. And you didn't even know it. And I'm the only one that can free you from the devil, which is that corrupt mind that you got. That's the devil. The deviser of all them illusions that you living in instead of reality. Devil for short. But anyway, it says, you see, ain't nobody arguing. Ain't nobody saying that ain't right, that ain't right. Then it says, I'm going to make obeisance to a mortal, to a man whom thou hast created in the shape. So Allah you know. Okay. So now, all of you that signal dropped on, I'm starting right where we left off. So don't feel like it's you missing something. You ain't missing nothing. I was just waiting on the video to get back up. So he was told. He said, "Then you go forth," meaning get out of here, "for surely thou art driven away, and on thee, surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment." Now, if you recall over in Genesis, that's the same thing was said to Cain. And Cain said, my punishment is greater than I can bear. For it shall come to pass that whosoever find me go kill me. Huh? And so so he was, the scripture said, "Cursed is the ground for thy sake." That's what in Genesis, that fourth, I think it was the 4th chapter. Yeah. Look, the Bible says, "Surely thou art driven away." And in the 4th chapter of Genesis, in the 14th verse, it says, "Behold," Cain was talking. He said, "Behold, thou hast driven me out this day. Surely thou art driven away." Is that right? Now the devil done got a name, huh? Named Cain, huh? Okay. You notice people say, sometimes people say, "Man, he raising hell." And then sometimes say, "He raising Cain over there." Is that right? Okay. So you know hell and Cain is the same thing, eh? All right. Now let's go. Showing you that the white man, he the one coined all these phrases. Well, speak of the devil. What? You the one don't pay attention. I pay attention. That's my job, is to pay attention. Where did he get this from, that you got a right to remain silent? Anything, if you give up the right to remain silent, then anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Remember that? The scripture say, "I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account of it in the day of judgment." What about the idle word? Well, speak of the devil. He's a tricky devil. He's a handsome devil. Poor devil. Huh? I have to pay attention to your words, because the mouth speaks from the abundance of the knowledge that's in the heart. Let's go back. It says in the 35th verse, it says, "Surely on thee is a curse till when? The day of judgment." Now, in the day of judgment, you have to go to Revelation to find out what happened in the day of judgment. So you go to the around the 22nd or 21st chapter. Tell you in a minute. I want you to understand that we are not making these things up. Just give us a minute here. We like everybody to understand. So in the 22nd chapter of Revelation, it tells you about the day of judgment. And it says, and the 3rd verse, it says, "And there shall be no more curse." On thee is a curse till when? Well, what's going to happen on the day of judgment? I'm going to take the curse off of you. The Son of Man have power on earth to forgive sins. That's because knowledge is power. I could never have forgiven the sin that was done against us if I didn't first receive the knowledge of why it was done and under whose direction it was being done. Do you understand? I mean, I want you to also understand that we wasn't righteous when the white man came and found us. You do know that, right? Okay, as long as you understand that. So I wouldn't holler too loud. Because the wages of sin is what? All right. Okay. Now let's get back over here. Oh, I want to warn you, white people, don't you try to use these things that I'm saying against us. It won't work for you. You just keep your mouth shut. So now, remember I said that, as the book said, when I say to the wicked, thou shalt surely die. It says, and thou givest him not warning. See, I got to warn him because Allah said to him, you're going to surely die. Is that right? Now you need to see what that's talking about. So I got to show it to you. So I want you to go over here with me to the book of let's see. Tell you in a minute. Exodus. And go to the 21st chapter. But you know, Allah, he told me to warn you, so that's what I'm doing. Go to Exodus chapter 21. Because when you're guilty, you're guilty. Now, and the only one that can forgive you is me. In the 21st chapter, and let's go to the, we're going to cut to the chase. The 16th verse. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be what? So by this here, you stole us, and we still over here being found in your hands. And you did offer us up for sale. See what that say? You shall be put to death. You sure you don't want me to save you? I told you when the ice was melting and all that added water to the water table, I told you, I said, you know that means that your hurricanes and your tornadoes and stuff gonna get bigger, right? Is they bigger? And I also told you they wasn't gonna be just touching down and jumping back up. They're gonna take a stroll through your community. Didn't I tell you that? You sure you don't want me to save you? You see what the word says supposed to happen to you for stealing a man and selling him, or getting caught with a slave, with a man that you stole. You kidnapped him. You think this is a joke? Is that what you think? Okay. The 17th verse don't make it no better. It says, and he that curseth his father or his mother shall what? You come in here cursing and swearing at me? You say, well, that's talking about, no, didn't it say don't call no man on earth father? For one is your father? Coming in here cursing and swearing at me? Now, you know, Allah said you're going to be put to death for that. He told me to warn you, give you warning from him, so that you don't do them things, so that you don't wind up being put to death. Now you ain't got no cloak. So I showed it to you. I explained it to you. And now it's on you. Let's see what else he said. In the 18th verse of that 3rd chapter of Ezekiel, it says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way. I got to prove to you what his way is, because you doing the way of the wicked and you don't know it. At least I'm going to assume you don't know it. So now I'm going to make you know it. So that in the 15th chapter of the Holy Quran, it says that after Allah told him, surely, this is the 35th verse, and surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. Now the devil says, he said, my Lord, respite me till the time when they are raised. And Allah said to him, surely thou art of the respited ones. And till the period of time made known. Till what period of time that had been made known? Till the day of judgment. And he said, the devil said to his Lord then, he said, my Lord, as thou hast judged me to be erring, he said, I shall certainly make evil fair seeming to them on earth. And shall cause them all to deviate, except thy servants, from among them the purified ones. So Allah told him, he said, this is a right, what? A right way with me. So my job is to warn the wicked from his wicked way of making evil fair seeming. So I want you to see something. I want you to see the wicked doing his thing. Because if I don't show it to you, then and make it plain, then you have an excuse. But I'm gonna make it plain for you. So I want you to see this.
writers and folks on Twitter and in all sorts of places is support for Kavanaugh unifies the broad center-right coalition, right? The establishment Republicans. I mean, here's George W. Bush, who very obviously does not like the President of the United States, saying, Laura and I have known and respected Brett Kavanaugh for decades. We stand by our comments the night Derek Kavanaugh was nominated. Fine husband, father and friend, man of highest integrity. He will make a superb justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. I mean, this guy's a made man in the conservative and Republican establishment.
Right. He came out of the Federalist Society. They did a really good, thorough job looking for who is going to support the agenda that we want in place, including when you have this president, that the president is above the law. Which is a strange thing that Kavanaugh seems to believe. Now, I think what's happened here is Republicans have said, these are the things that matter to us. And then you go right down the line, repealing Roe v. Wade, getting our tax cuts, doing all kinds of things that they've been waiting for years, waiting for Obama to leave and to get a chance to do these things. And they're willing to pay any price at all, including giving up their own moral standards in order to make it happen.
Including what's striking to me, the political price here. I mean, there is here's the polling. This polling is pretty crazy. This is the latest Reuters poll that Kavanaugh's underwater, 36 opposed, 31 support, don't know 33%. That's not usually usually Supreme Court justices are fairly popular, are unveiled, people haven't heard about them, they're introduced as like, right, and all of a sudden we change. Don't know 33.
So 36% they say oppose, 33% say they don't know. Well, then how do you find out who's opposing it and who's maybe secretly opposing it or secretly supporting it? What is a sure remedy for that? Let the American people show you. Right? I mean, let Mr. McConnell tell you. Yes, no. You see, what he's doing now, what they are doing now, is trying to keep doing their work in my day. They were told to stop their way, warn the wicked from his wicked way. He said, my Lord, since you have judged me to be erring, I'm going to make evil fair seeming to them on earth. And I shall cause them all to deviate. Now, how long was he supposed to do that? Well, here it is. I'll show you how long. He put a time on it. This is over here in the book of Leviticus. Wait a minute. Let me be sure. No, book of Exodus again. Well, Exodus is got plenty in there. So let's get to Exodus and let's go to the 31st chapter of Exodus. Why do you suppose Moses told you to remember the Sabbath day? Now, before we go there, I want to go to Exodus, the 20th chapter. It's very important that you see the harmony of the scriptures. In other words, how the scriptures never contradict themselves. That alone is proof that it's from God. These books wasn't revealed all at the same time. And the prophets, what they spoke, those prophets didn't sit down and say, now, what you said over here. Moses and Jesus was 2,000 years apart. So let's get to the truth here. The 20th chapter of Exodus, and let's go to the 8th verse. Look what it says. Remember the Sabbath day. To do what? To keep lying? To keep trying to make evil look like it's okay? Or did it say to keep it holy? I need you to understand that, you know, you following the devil, you making your deals with the devil. You done decided that God's word is a joke. You done decided that you can do what you please when you please and however you please. That's what you have decided. Now, my job is to warn you, not to make you straighten up. It's to make sure that you did get warned. Here you got the whole East Coast. Now, just from a little example of what could happen. All that water that's filling people's homes and whatnot. You think that's a joke? All right. Keep supporting wrongdoers here. Just keep on. Just a moment. I want you to see, remember the Sabbath day. Remember Cinderella? Hey, look, I know you think you're looking good. 12 o'clock. You better get on out of there. Huh? Remember the Sabbath day. What does the term Sabbath mean? Ain't that the seventh day? A day with the Lord, it says how many years? 1,000 years. So if a day is 1,000 years and the Lord said 6 days shall you labor and do all whose work? What was his work? My Lord, since you judged me to be Aaron, I'm going to make evil fast seeming to them on earth. I mean, it don't get no more. Look what they do to your beautiful daughters. White, black, make no difference. You look at some of them, you've been to some of them porn sites. You see what they do to them? Telling them that's art. Strip her down, and the Playboy, Hugh Hefner and all of them, strip the woman down and showing her shame to the world and making her think that is some kind of way that's art. He said he would make evil fast seeming, didn't he? Young men and women out there like horses and donkeys and dogs and stuff out there in front of a camera, performing for each other. Performing in front of a camera. Making evil fast seeming. Prophet Muhammad told you on such kind of people will the day of judgment arise. I done seen all of this stuff. Just remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Why did Moses tell you to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy? Now turn to the 20th chapter. Did I say 20th chapter? Let's find it here. Just a moment. Let's go to the 31st chapter. We were just in the 20th chapter. Now go to the 31st chapter. Now, let's go to the let's go to the 14th verse. Let's start there. You shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. It's a time when it's time to get into the Holy Scriptures, because the Lord himself will be here teaching the Holy Scriptures. Now you can keep it holy. It says, it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be what? Put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among the people. 6 days may work be done. You got 6,000 years to do your evil. But in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, as in objects in motion and objects at rest. Let me show you. The devil know these things. Just a moment. But he's going to let you get caught. I'm not going to tiptoe around him. No, I ain't got to tiptoe. I'm going to show you. It is.
All right, Senator, there's a lot of lead up, but I felt like viewers had to see all of that. Let me ask you this. The word inappropriate, that is what Mr. Kavanaugh used. When he says he didn't have any inappropriate conversations about the Mueller probe, what did that tell you? What did that mean to you?
To me, it meant any conversations that would trigger his recusal, either as a judge sitting on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, or should he be confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court. In other words, nothing delving beneath the surface of, oh, how about that Mueller probe or something like that. What I objected to last night was the insinuation that, number one, this was somehow a very specific question, when in fact she was talking about a law firm that has 350 lawyers in 9 different offices across the United States. And, you know, he's got many dozens of former law clerks. He's got hundreds of close friends who are lawyers, including law school classmates, any of whom might move from one firm to another. And I think it's important that when we ask a witness a question, we give them the ability to ascertain what exactly it is that they're answering.
Look,
what is that line to you where appropriate becomes inappropriate? And look, I imagine it's subjective a bit as far as many of you are concerned. How would you make the case that a president couldn't be criminally indicted? Does that become inappropriate?
I suspect it would. There was some follow-up conversation later today in the hearing. I believe somebody asked him some additional questions about anybody he's talked to at the firm, and indicated that he hasn't discussed the Mueller probe with them. He can't think of anybody who works at that firm with whom he's discussed this case.
Why shouldn't he recuse himself with anything having involvement with Mueller and the president? I mean, there's a lot of sort of laymen here, Senator Lee, and you're one of my favorite people when it comes to the Constitution. You think in those terms all the time. People may agree or disagree, but you found yourself in that. Why shouldn't Brett Kavanaugh be recusing himself if the person who appointed him is in the middle of a potential criminal investigation?
Look, recusal decisions are very personal and they're also very case specific. I don't want to support the speak for Judge Kavanaugh, who could become Justice Kavanaugh. That really will be a decision for him to make, and not for me, not for anyone else.
Well, what would be appropriate for you? I mean, you're somebody you have somebody that some people thought could be a federal judge or a Supreme Court justice. What would be your line?
Look, I don't know. We have in the past had people who have been appointed by the sitting incumbent president who have then heard cases involving an action taken by that president, not necessarily a criminal action, but action
Justice Kagan, right? Justice Kagan recuses herself quite a bit on cases that she worked on as Solicitor General.
Right, and did not recuse herself from NFIB versus Sebelius, the case involving the constitutionality of Obamacare. Like I say, recusal is a very fact-specific, case-specific determination. It's got to be made by the jurist at the moment the decision's got to be rendered. So I'm not support to speak for Judge Kavanaugh here.
In that sense, I'm not speaking. I would sort of where your line is. That's what I was going. I get that. I know people don't want to speak for others. I know that's a dangerous game.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite law professors was a brilliant professor named Fred Geddes. He used to say when you've got a difficult line to draw in the law under some difficult legal standard, you draw the line at 7. And I asked, what is 7? And he said, well, that's exactly the question.
That's what I was going. I get that. I know people don't want to speak for others. I know that's a dangerous game.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite law professors was a brilliant professor named Fred Geddes. He used to say when you've got a difficult line to draw in the law under some difficult legal standard, you draw the line at 7. And I asked, what is 7? And he said, well, that's exactly the question.
6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the Sabbath day, you draw the line? You don't do your work? Stupid didn't know the answer. You're going to find it out the hard way. Now that I have shown you in the book that you ain't got no business playing good cop, bad cop with this Trump and like the Attorney General and all this foolishness, all this evil that you doing, thinking that you still running game. The only one you running game on is yourself. Listen to Mitch McConnell here. I want everybody to hear this. I mean, he eloquently condemned his own self. Let me show you.
I'm going to proceed on my leader time without objection. Mr. President, the next justice could fundamentally alter the direction of the Supreme Court and have a profound impact on our country. So, of course, the American people should have a say in the court's direction. It is the president's constitutional right to nominate a Supreme Court justice, and it is the Senate's constitutional right to act as a check on a president and withhold his consent. As Chairman Grassley and I declared weeks ago and reiterated personally to President Obama, the Senate will continue to observe the Biden rule so that the American people have a voice in this momentous decision. The American people may well elect a president who decides to nominate Judge Garland for Senate consideration. The next president may also nominate somebody very different. Either way, our view is this: give the people a voice in filling this vacancy. Let me remind colleagues of what Vice President Biden said when he was chairman of the Judiciary Committee here in the Senate. Here's what he said. It would be our pragmatic conclusion that once the political season is underway, and it is, action on a Supreme Court nomination must be put off until after the election campaign is over. That is what is fair to the nominee, he said, and is central to the process. Otherwise, it seems to me, Chairman Biden went on, we will be in deep trouble as an institution. Others may fret, he said, that this approach would leave the court with only 8 members for some time. But as I see it, Chairman Biden said, the cost of such a result, the need to re-argue 3 or 4 cases that will divide the justice 4-4, are quite minor compared to the cost that a nominee, the president, the Senate, and the nation would have to pay for what would assuredly be a bitter fight, no matter how good a person is nominated by the president. Chairman Joe Biden. Consider that last part. Senator Biden said that the cost to the nation would be too great, no matter who the president nominates. President Obama and his allies may now try to pretend this disagreement is about a person. But as I just noted, his own vice president made it clear it's not. The Biden rule reminds us that the decision the Senate announced weeks ago remains about a principle and not a person. About a principle and not a person. It seems clear that President Obama made this nomination not with the intent of seeing the nominee confirmed, but in order to politicize it for purposes of the election, which is the type of thing then Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Biden was concerned about. The exact thing Chairman Biden was concerned about.
Now, he stood up there and told lie after lie after lie. But, I mean, it's the president's duty when there's a vacancy on the Supreme Court to nominate someone to fill that vacancy. So what do you mean President Obama was trying to play politics there? No, but by his own standard, he wants the American people to have a say. And since it's the Senate that actually allows a Supreme Court justice to get in there or not, here's an election coming up where if he meant what he said, why don't he want to wait until after the election to see if the Republicans hold the Senate or the Democrats take it, and then they can vote whoever the majority of the people, for whoever the majority of the people choose to fill the Senate expresses the majority of the people's will. Well, why are they trying to rush this thing instead of waiting until after the election? Listen to him. These liars, they're nothing but liars. I told you, in order to support Donald Trump, everybody who supports his presidency is a liar. And in order to come out and speak for him, they have to lie to you. Because they have to uphold whatever he done told you. And every time he opened his mouth, a lie pop out. He talking about the economy of America is better now than ever before in history. What a lie. In my short lifetime, I remember when candy bars was a nickel. Gasoline was 15 cents and 10 cents a gallon. They call it ethyl and let me see, what was the two names? They done changed it to super and stuff now. But, you know, regular and ethyl. I think the ethyl was the premium. May wa alaikum ala salam. No, this was before your time, young brother. No, that was, they called it ethyl and regular. Regular, right, okay. I know what it was. You know, you could go there with $5 and fill your tank up and get change. And somebody pumped your gas for you. The milkman used to come and leave bottles of milk on your doorstep. You could go to the market with a $20 bill, get bags and bags of groceries, and have some change from that. Ask your grandmama. Ask your granddaddy.
That's true.
Now he's standing up here lying. I mean, milk was milk. I mean, it wasn't no garbage. A quart of milk was 25 cents. So you really don't know how much this country done failed. And they know you don't know, so they lie to you. And then the reason he keep getting away with it is because all you people out there claim to be so religious. You know he's lying and you won't even call him a lie. Well, he's stretching the truth. He's exaggerating. He's lying. Got out there and told the people the FBI don't investigate that kind of thing. The FBI don't investigate, they don't do background checks. The news people let them get away with it. Why? Who owns the station? See, these people have bought your country out from under you and you don't know it. I tried to tell you. Now, you just heard Mitch McConnell talking about it's too close to an election. We need to wait and let the people decide. Well, it's a good way to let the people decide on whether Brett Kavanaugh going to get on the Supreme Court. If they re-elect the Republicans to be still the majority, then you know the people have spoken. Isn't that right? So what is his hurry? Why is he going now against his own reasons that he gave you just a year or so ago? Now he got amnesia. Well, like I said, you trying to make evil fair seeming to the people in a day where you were told to draw the line. Stop. Rest. Now, you keep going, you're going to pay the price. You mark my word. I did warn you. I warned the whole world. If you don't mean the American people no good, you better remove yourself from these offices. Because the one thing that you can't deny about the people in America, yeah, we got our issues. But America is the most charitable country or charitable nation on earth. Let me show you something. This is the Sickle Cell Foundation. You know, I was asked to read this by one of my followers fundraising, and it says sickle cell disease. Millions of people around the world suffer from sickle cell disease, but it's more common in people with African bloodline. It is also quite common in people whose ancestors come from the Arabian Peninsula, Mediterranean countries such as Turkey, Greece, and Italy, Central America, Spanish-speaking regions in South America, and parts of the Caribbean. It is also the most common blood disorder in the United States, with every 1 in 500 African Americans and 1 in 1,000 Hispanic Americans suffering from it. As a whole, it affects 70,000 to 80,000 Americans and is one of the leading cause of concern for the entire nation. And then their theme, it says, our theme, together we can make a difference and break the sickle cycle. Our mission, to maximize the life potential of individuals living with sickle cell disease, to enable individuals with sickle cell trait to make informed decisions with respect to family planning, to provide education and testing for the general public. We help thousands of people all over Michigan with funding for testing for every newborn in Michigan, transportation, medication, emergency support, summer camp scholarships, education, counseling, and referral. And the services says newborn screening. Mandatory screening has been adopted because it enables children to be identified to receive life-saving penicillin prophylaxis before the disease might be diagnosed from the occurrence of sickle cell disease symptoms. An additional benefit of newborn screening is that it provides an opportunity for early education of families. This enables parents to identify critical signs and symptoms that may require medical and life-saving intervention. Now, youth development. Project Enrich. Students receive the following: tutoring 2 times per week. 8 of our tutors are individuals living with sickle cell disease who serve as excellent role models for our students. Van transportation to and from centers when required. Music therapy, yoga, meditation, and Tai Chi instruction. Healthy meal, nutritional education. Homework helpers pick up and deliver homework assignments to all children hospitalized at Children's Hospital of Michigan who request assistance. Summer and day camps. Our free summer camp experience provides a unique opportunity for our children to gain self-confidence and independence. It also helps parents overcome issues of overprotectiveness, which may occur when raising a child with a chronic illness. Career development. The Career Development Program assists individuals with a sickle cell disease, ages 14 and above to plan and achieve a career goal leading to satisfactory employment. Through guidance and counseling, clients undertake a 6-stage career development process. The services provided include vocational counseling and testing, college planning, assistance with enrollment in vocational and training programs, information about financial aid, employability, and interview skills training, referral services and alternative work programs. Resources currently utilized are Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Growth, Michigan Rehabilitation Services, that's MRS, and the Social Security Administration's Work Incentive Program. On September the 22nd, 2018, the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, Michigan chapter, that's SCDAAMI, will host a sickle cell celebration, our annual patient and family-centered event. This year's theme is Sickle Cell Matters and wishes to celebrate all the current and future accomplishments taking place with the SCD community. Last year's family event hosted over 700 participants, where more than 20 sponsors were on site to engage patients, their families, and various SCDAAMI supporters. The proceeds from this year's event will help us to continue providing supportive services to our patients and their families. To register and get more information, you can log on to scdaami.org. And that's, I assume lowercase or uppercase, don't make no difference. You can log on to scdaami.org. scdaami.org. Again, that's scdaami.org. Now, I want to say to the sickle cell, those who may be knowledgeable of the research being done, I think that you will be successful, considering what I've heard about the malaria, that mosquito that transfers malaria. That sickle cell was one of the things that helped to, for lack of a better word, fight or cure the effects of malaria. So if you want to deal with treatment of sickle cell, I think it would be more rewarding to look into why the malaria virus seems to be some kind of way associated with sickle cell. And the two together may make a person's life much better who has it. So, but anyway, I think that we should be very careful. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to support the research, certainly support the research, but one of the reasons we don't come up with cures is because we reward research instead of rewarding cures. And we need to stop trying to capitalize off of each other's suffering. And let's do the research, come up with the cure, and then move on. Don't just keep doing research just because it's lucrative. You know, we live in a society where people are known to find a catastrophe and try to capitalize off of it. Let's not be vultures, but at the same time, let us support the research that is being done to help cure, to help people that have that disease, because it is a very painful and debilitating disease that kills people. But let's make sure that we're doing the right thing and not just trying to make money off of people. But America is is full of. I remember when I used to sell candy when I was a teenager. We used to go out together, us youngsters, and we'd load up and go out in different communities outside of the black community. And it was very few homes that I went to with my Brentwood creamy mints, and we sold them for $1 a box. It was a long, skinny box of mints, I'd say about 1.5 feet long. And you know, we'd go out into some of the Anaheim and some of the places where a lot of middle class white people. Now that I know what the middle class is, I used to think all white people was pretty rich. But anyway, we'd go out there and you know, didn't no police bother us or whatnot. We knock on doors. And it was very, very seldom we didn't sell out. And they would purchase whatever we brought to them and whatnot. And, you know, so I've had some experiences that wasn't all bad. And, you know, we was called the Boys Enterprise and that kind of thing. And we went out there and good afternoon, ma'am, or good morning, ma'am. I'm a member of Boys Enterprise, and we selling delicious mints, and they wouldn't go back and forth with you. They'd just say, how much is it? And they would help us. And so I've had that kind of experience with them too. So, like I said, if you don't mean the American people any good, I'm talking about all the American people, not just your little section. And if you really meant the American people any good, let me read the definition of a politician to you. A lot of you all, you don't know what you're dealing with because you never took the time to learn to get a handle on the language. Let me clue you in. Now, let's see here. Politician. Let's look it up. Guess I got it spelled right. Maybe I don't got it spelled right. Let's see here. Oh, I put too many. Give me a minute here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. One who is actively involved or skilled in politics, especially one who holds a political office. That's pretty what you call I guess tacit would be okay. Let's read the next definition. One who deceives or outmaneuvers others for personal gain. A politician, listen, one who deceives or outmaneuvers others for personal gain. Politician. In government, politics and diplomacy, a person actively engaged in politics, especially a full-time professional member of a deliberative assembly. A person who is experienced or skilled in the art or science of politics, government, or administration, or a statesman. That's a person who engages in politics out of a wish for personal gain, as realized by holding a public office. A person who is active in politics, a seeker or holder of public office, a person who uses public office to advance personal or partisan interests. You notice, every time I read one that really is something bad, it always fits these people. They don't care nothing about you. The man said that you need to, during an election year, you need to wait and let the American people decide. Not so much as a presidential election, because all the president can do is pick somebody. The Senate is the one that ratifies them or says, no, they can't go in there. Right? Well, then if this man, Mitch McConnell, if he really believes in letting the American people speak through their vote, well, now you got the House of Representatives and the Senate in this election. The people can either keep everything as it is, or they can change the dynamics of the House and the Senate. How come McConnell is trying to rush Kavanaugh through before that happens? If he feels that this man is qualified, there's no rush. What is he trying to rush for before the election? When he said that the election is important. It gives the American people a chance to speak. Okay, so you know he lied. You know he lied when he said that that was his reason for delaying the vote, right? Okay, but he did say it. Just in case you don't remember, let's let him say it again. Just a minute.
Mr. President, the next justice could fundamentally alter the direction of the Supreme Court and have a profound impact on our country. So, of course, the American people should have a say in the court's direction. It is the president's constitutional right to nominate a Supreme Court justice, and it is the Senate's constitutional right to act as a check on a president and withhold its.
It's not so much as the Senate's constitutional right. You notice how he put it. It's the Senate's constitutional right. No, it's the Senate's constitutional duty to serve as a check. As the America's system of government is called a system of checks and balance. Huh? So, no one department or branch has absolute authority or autonomy. It's set up that way to make sure that tyranny and that bad decisions are not rubber stamped. And it's also set up for transparency so that America's people can trust their government. They don't have to rise up to try to overthrow their government. It was actually set up this way so that the transparency would make the American people satisfied that if they thought the government ain't working like it's supposed to, well then we change that at the voting at the ballot box, not out on the streets shooting each other. But look what they've done. They even took the ballot box away and changed it to a computer. And you know what they can do with computers. They hack them. Whose idea was that? I never saw nothing come out on the ballot to say that the American people had a chance to choose whether or not they wanted to go to a computer or keep the voting system as it was. It wasn't broke. Wasn't nothing wrong with the voting system. But anyway, I'm telling you that you just about done lost your country. I'm talking to the white Muslims in America. And those are the people, they don't call themselves Muslims, they call themselves Christians. But I notice you don't ever ask who's funding Fox News. This fella, if a black man get up and can speak and get an audience, the first thing they want to know is who's funding him. I can't be intelligent enough to put something on the internet. I got to have somebody that's sponsoring me. Allah sponsoring me. And I notice, if that's your only complaint, I mean, what is it that you just want to know where I'm getting money from? Ain't that something? You know why he asked that? Because he want to cut you off. You know, your money, you can cut me off because I don't get money from you. You notice I don't come out here begging you for nothing. You've been robbing me. Everybody on this planet owes me. It's called tithes. So, you're going to pay for robbing me of my tithes too. Yes, you are. That's over there in Malachi. It said, will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me, even this whole nation. And you say, wherein have we robbed you? That's in the 3rd chapter of Malachi. I'll teach you to ask for who funding me. Yeah. It says in the 8th verse, it says, will a man rob God? Know ye that the Lord, he is God. The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath day. So it says, will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. You are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. So I know what I'm saying. You're going to wish you hadn't never said some of the things to me that you said to me. You know, and I want all of you that's listening to me, don't act like you doing me a favor to come in here and listen to me. You ain't doing me no favor. I'm doing you the favor for talking to you. I'm the one with the salvation. What you got? Nothing but hell. Coming in here with your behind up on your shoulder. That's just another way of saying what should be coming out of your mouth should be pleasant things, not boo-boo. You ought to be giving thanks that I'm here talking to you. Oh. So you see that old lying Mitch McConnell? I told you they was all crooks. Let me let you hear the messenger a little bit. Wait a minute. I done played these things so much that they getting messed up. I have them down there in the theater when I'm working on it, and sometimes sawdust and stuff get in there. I know I should do better than with my. I'm gonna have to get me some more. But let's see if it'll play.
together again. Their faces come to me sometime almost weekly, because they recognize what I mean. This is the day of uniting. Africa is uniting with us, because as the Holy One teaches, they heard a call, calling to the right way. Therefore, they are there among you today, Christians, saints walking around with the mouth shut, waiting for a certain time to open. So, the time given to this white man is up, and he don't deny it. He don't deny his time is not up. He preaches it himself. As in the Holy One, it is said there that while he tries to declare himself a mystery in you, he says, I did not call them to go astray. I just called them and they come. He said, I'm not responsible. They are responsible. He goes to try to show some things he has did to try to open your eyes.
I'll show you an example of that. Yeah. I got some examples of what he was saying. It is right here. That's the ball. Just give me a minute. Let's see if I can find it.
This just in, President Trump will visit North Carolina tomorrow to tour areas affected by hurricane. This will actually Monday, Florence triggered tornadoes all the way up to Virginia. Hurricane Florence is the latest example of how warming ocean waters caused by climate change are endangering Americans from coast to coast. As the New York Times points out, this connection has not been acknowledged by President Trump as he reverses President Obama's steps to reduce emissions from greenhouse gases. I talked to former Vice President Al Gore about all this as the Carolinas continue to deal with historic floods. Mr. Vice President, we're in the midst of a hurricane, the aftermath of hurricanes, all of the storms, storm surge based on rising sea levels. These storms are stronger than what we've experienced in the past. What do you say to the climate change deniers, led by the President of the United States?
Well, I think at this point it matters less what I would say to them, or even more importantly, what the scientists would say to them, than what Mother Nature is saying to them. Not only do we have this massive storm hitting the U.S., but simultaneously the Philippines is being slammed by another super typhoon, Mangkhut. Hawaii's being hit by Tropical Storm Olivia. We just finished the largest fire in the history of California a month ago. Every night on the television news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
Presidential leadership in moments of crisis is very, very important, as you know better than anyone, having been in the White House. What does it say to America when, in the aftermath of a storm a year ago in Puerto
Super typhoon, Mangkhut, Hawaii's being hit by Tropical Storm Olivia. We just finished the largest fire in the history of California a month ago. Every night on the television news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
Presidential leadership in moments of crisis is very, very important, as you know better than.
I told you they believe in the Bible. They're trying to fix the climate and stuff and trying to stop polluting the earth. That's not out of the goodness. Because they know that Allah said He's going to destroy those who destroy the earth. Now, let me show you here. Where is that at? This is the 11th chapter of the book of Revelation. It says in the 15th verse, it says, and the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. And he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before God on their seats, they fell upon their faces and worshiped God, saying, we give thee thanks, O Lord God Almighty, which art and wast and art to come, because thou hast taken to thyself, thou hast taken to thee thy great power, and hast reigned. You notice, I done took the Holy Scriptures out of the hands of all these pseudo-religious people. From the Pope on down. You'll never hear one of them challenge me in these books. I've taken it from them. It's my power. He had horns coming out of his hands, and there was the hiding of his power. Oh, yeah. And they hid it in there too. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and did what? There was the hiding of his power. And it says, and the nations were angry. You bear witness they're angry. It says, the nations were angry and thy wrath is come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged. The first thing I did was raise the dead in Christ. Moses, David, Solomon, Jesus. Got all of them up here speaking now. Daniel, Muhammad. All of them bearing me witness. He said, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants the prophets. What was the prophets promised? That they would inherit the earth? Well, the mind that was in them is going to be put in all people so that they will be the head of all people. Who's going to put it there? I am. Then it says, give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great. And also shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. That's what the former Vice President Al Gore was talking about. He said, man, this is something like we walking through Revelation here. Huh? Let's see. Let's play it again.
Been acknowledged by President Trump as he reverses President Obama's. Carolina tomorrow to tour areas affected by Hurricane Florence. Meanwhile, the latest death toll from the storm now stands at 32 people as slow-moving floodwaters continue to rise, engulfing inland areas of North Carolina. The National Weather Service reporting today that the storm has dumped more than 8 trillion gallons of rain on the state so far.
It's written, see they not that we are visiting the land, curtailing it of its sides? And our law pronounces a doom. When I was growing up, they used to call it doomsday. The Sabbath day is doomsday for the wicked. It's called a great and dreadful day. What great and dreadful? The great and dreadful day of the Son of Man.
And take a look at this video. In the final lashing Monday, Florence triggered tornadoes all the way up to Virginia.
Did you hear how she put that? After the hurricane seemed to be gone after a final lashing of tornadoes. Every hurricane comes with children. A big wind comes with little winds, relatively speaking. All right. This is Allah's answer to you who disrespected me. And we've only just begun.
And Florence is the latest example of how warming ocean waters caused by climate change are endangering Americans from coast to coast. As the New York Times points out, this connection has not been acknowledged by President Trump as he reverses President Obama's steps to reduce emissions from greenhouse gases. I talked to former Vice President Al Gore about all this as the Carolinas continue to deal with historic floods. Mr. Vice President, we're in the midst of a hurricane.
You'll notice they talk about climate change. You know what happens when, are you aware that there's approximately 8 degrees between you and death in your body? Your body temperature, according to the scientists, is a mean 98.6 degrees. If you get up to 106 degrees, you better hurry up and get that down. Don't you gonna wind up with permanent brain damage or death. That's about 8 degrees. When you get sick, you get hot. Y'all making the earth sick and the earth getting hot. And now the immune system is kicking in. Get rid of that which is making us sick. Just wait.
In the aftermath of hurricanes, all of the storm surge based on rising sea levels, these storms are stronger than what we've experienced in the past. What do you say to the climate change deniers? Led by the President of the United States?
Well, I think at this point it matters less what I would say to them, or even more importantly, what the scientists would say to them, than what Mother Nature is saying to them. Not only do we have this massive storm hitting the U.S., but simultaneously the Philippines is being slammed by another super typhoon, Mangkhut. Hawaii is being hit by Tropical Storm Olivia. We just finished the largest fire in the history of California a month ago. Every night on the television news, like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
Presidential leadership in moments of crisis is very, very important, as you know better than anyone, having been in the White House. What does it say to America when, in the aftermath of a storm a year ago in Puerto Rico and in the United States, The President of the United States denies a scientific death count.
From his own administration.
And says that there were not 3,000 people, or nearly 3,000 people.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking the question. Honestly, for me, when a new outrage comes along every few hours, I have to download some existing outrage to make room for the new outrage, and this is one that stands out, just as he criticized his own Justice Department for proceeding to prosecute corruption at the risk of losing some Republican seats in Congress. These are not normal actions or statements by a president. We all know that. But I have the sense, Andrea, that there are a large number of Americans who don't want to get into the arguments about Donald Trump, but they are quietly very determined to go to the polls this November. Because if there was ever a time to activate the checks and balances our founders put into the Constitution, now is that time.
We in the media, political figures, people in the Democratic Party discounted the anxiety of a lot of Americans in so-called red states. People who were against NAFTA, against trade agreements.
Yes.
How do you counteract that? How do you know that won't happen again in 2018 and 2020?
Well, of course it could. You're quite right that the stagnation of middle-income wages for more than 40 years.
It's reporting today that the storm has dumped more than 8 trillion gallons of rain on the state so far. And take a look at this video. In a final lashing Monday, Florence triggered tornadoes all the way up to Virginia. Hurricane Florence is the latest example of how warming ocean waters caused by climate change are endangering Americans from coast to coast. As the New York Times points out, this connection has not been acknowledged by President Trump as he reverses President Obama's steps to reduce emissions from greenhouse gases. I talked to former Vice President Al Gore about all this as the Carolinas continue to deal with historic floods. Mr. Vice President, we're in the midst of a hurricane, the aftermath of hurricanes, all of the storm surge based on rising sea levels. These storms are stronger than what we've experienced in the past. What do you say to the climate change deniers? The President of the United States?
Well, I think at this point it matters less what I would say to them, or even more importantly, what the scientists would say to them, than what Mother Nature is saying to them. Not only do we have this massive storm hitting the U.S., but simultaneously the Philippines is being slammed by another super typhoon, Mangkhut. Hawaii's being hit by Tropical Storm Olivia. We just finished the largest fire in the history of California a month ago. Every night on the television news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation. Yeah, a monthly on the television news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation. Yeah, a month ago, every night on the television news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
Presidential leadership in moments of crisis is very, very important, as you know better than anyone, having been in the White House. What does it say to America when, in the aftermath of a storm a year ago in Puerto Rico and in the United States, the President of the United States denies a scientific death count?
From his own administration.
And says that there were not 3,000 people, or nearly 3,000 people.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking the question. Honestly, for me, when a new outrage comes along every few hours, I have to download some existing outrage to make room for the new outrage, and this is one that stands out, just as he criticized his own Justice Department for proceeding to prosecute corruption at the risk of losing some Republican seats in Congress. These are not normal actions or statements by a president. We all know that. But I have the sense, Andrea, that there are a large number of Americans who don't want to get into the arguments about Donald Trump, but they are quietly very determined to go to the polls this November. Because if there was ever a time to activate the checks and balances our founders put into the Constitution, now is that time.
Let me say this to all of you all who so afraid to get on all of these crooks long, that's Donald Trump and all the rest of them. As long as you let people bully you, you're going to always be bullied. What? I mean, I learned back in elementary and junior high school that you can't come after my behind and leave yours at home. Around here talking about what you gonna do to me. Well, is your doer broke? The reason people threaten you is because you show fear of them. The minute you really realize that you should fear God and only Him, all these other little rocks in the pocket fools will mean nothing to you. As my teacher said, there's no such thing as a coward who fears God, because that's the first thing He removes from you. When you fear Him, the fear of Him makes you not fear anybody else. You're too busy being careful about what you're doing to please God. To hell with everybody else. So I'm going to tell you something. When you pleasing Allah, everybody who loves Allah, they will love you. And those who don't love you, it's because they don't love God. So do you really care what they talk about, what they gonna do to you? Let me tell you something. If Allah wasn't with me, you'd hear people all the time talking about what they're gonna do to me. Allah would get your behind for raising your voice to me, let alone talking about you gonna do something to me. I don't have people coming here and try to tell me they can raise their voice, and I said, no, you not. I'll throw your behind in hell. What you think it meant when He said, behold my servant whom I uphold? Whatever judgment I make about you, Allah will uphold it. Come in here and tell me Allah not God. I done got sick of all you blaspheming disbelievers out there. So, look, you stand up for your country. You stand up and support the FBI. You support the Justice Department, who trying to defend you. And you tell all them hypocrites and liars in Congress that they better not put that man up on the Supreme Court. Have a hearing. Let that woman put her case forth after an FBI investigation, as she requested. These people done got up there and act like they the boss. Whoever, as far as I know, whoever you getting your pay from, that's your boss. They're getting paid by the taxpayers. Even if they taking somebody else's money under the table. In the public eye, on transparency, the American people pay their check. Well, then who do they answer to? They answer to the American people. And if they done forgot that, you need to remind them of that. Look around you. Look what you have here. You got a country that's the envy of every nation on earth. You're going to let these people trash it? You're going to let your own bigotry and racist mentality cause you to throw away all of this? And you really are a fool. You should have been and took that man out of that office. The minute he started trashing America's allies and whatnot, that told you what you needed to know about him. And everybody who's supporting him. I don't know about you, but I know when somebody don't care nothing about me. You better wake up. You can get mad at me all you want. Come in here and show me that I'm wrong, and I'll correct myself. But let's have an intelligent, fact-finding discussion, a fact-based discussion. The first fact that we all need to agree on is that Donald Trump ain't got no business being president. He just not up to it. That's a fact. And all you got to do to prove that fact is go back to any president in history and see if Donald Trump measures up to any of them. You've never had a president that even if he didn't approve of certain people in the American quilt, when he was speaking from the podium, he kept that in check. And he never attacked his own country's constitution. What do you think it is when a president of the United States see people exercising their right to peaceful protest, and he calls them SOBs for doing that? That's him attacking the Constitution that he swore to uphold. He didn't attack the Nazi Party and the KKK when they was in Charlottesville. He didn't attack them. Even when they killed somebody, he didn't attack them. He didn't see nothing wrong with that. And yet, I mean, I got footage of people saluting him like they saluted Hitler. Let's see here. I think this is it. Give me a minute.
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory! Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory! No one will honor us for losing gracefully. No one mourns the great crime committed against us. For us, it is conquer or die. The mainstream media, or perhaps...
Conquer who? Come in here and tell me who you think you're supposed to conquer. That boy's behind time. The time for talk like that is gone, boy. You out of time now. You were told to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Ain't no more, you ain't told to go out now and conquer nothing. You were told to rest when I showed up. You were warned. Stop it, or Allah said He gonna put you to death. Now come in here and throw a threat at me. Well, this is it. The day of judgment has arrived. Straighten up, or you're going to be stretched out. Now, I done gave you warning. Trying to push evil and make evil look like it's okay, this the wrong day and time for you to be pulling that. Allah gonna run you out of everywhere that you living. Gonna run you out of there. I should say drive you out of there. And when you get to where He driving you, you're gonna admit that you're being driven by the calamities that's been hitting. Then got a surprise for you. And remember, I told you. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna fix you. So now, we got about 15 minutes left. Any of y'all got something you want to ask me or say to me? Get it off your chest. But be careful. I'm still the Lord. Now, I'll show you respect, but you going to show me respect. And I ain't got to beg for it. Now, if you got questions you want to ask me or whatnot, you feel free to do so. And I don't care who you are. Every one of you, it means something to me. If you for right, I don't care what color you are. So you got something you want to get cleared up? I'm here to clear it up. Now I'll let you hear the messenger some more since y'all ain't saying that.
But he knew he was not so rough. And he couldn't tell it strong like God sent messenger because
you heard Al Gore kind of touch on it. It's like you taking a walk through the book of Revelation. Huh? Who is that got their phone off of mute?
I was calling trying to ask a question.
Yes, what is your question?
To me, it wasn't clear to me about what you were saying about the Sabbath day.
The Sabbath day is what you are living in right now. The white man and these young races of people were made 6,000 years ago, and they have been ruling the earth according to their own will and desires. And God gave them 6,000 years to do that. That 6,000 year period ended in 1914. You are now living in the 7,000th year, and every one of you now had better stop doing the evil that you've been doing. And you better listen to me and let me give you a new mind.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. So it seems like the Son of Man.
No, I just told you what it means. It don't need to be put in no other words. I'm the Lord, you in my day, you in my class, and it would behoove you to let me put this mind in you that Allah have given me to share with you, so that he don't have to destroy you.
Okay, I was just calling.
All right.
To try to get that.
All right, I want all of you to be clear. I'm not just talking to you, sister. There's some more of them out there hard-headed. And I'm not talking about you. If you ain't hard-headed, fine. But all of you that if you want to live on God's earth, you better learn how to be right. That's what the scriptures are. The scriptures are instruction in righteousness. Up until me, nobody was able to teach you the understanding of those instructions. So you were not held accountable. But now, the teacher of the instructions is here. As Jesus told you, he said, when he is come, the Spirit of truth, he will guide you into all truth. All truth is all of the words of God. And that's what I'm here to do. Guide all of you into the proper understanding of the instruction that is called Holy Scriptures. And as you practice what's in the Holy Scriptures, then Allah will spare you and make you a new person. You see?
So what does Allah mean?
Allah means Allah is an Arab word for the God. But the meaning of the name is that he is all and in all. That's what the truth is. The truth is everything you see. You can, if you see a thing, truth is what made it what it is. And you can extract the truth out of it. But until I showed up, then the only time that Allah was in person was when each messenger of God brought the truth. Then that was God in that man. As the book says, the word was with God. And now the word hath become flesh. I'm the first one that is actually have a mind. I actually have a mind that was produced by the word of God. That's why I'm able to take you into the word of God and show you that the word of God explains itself. So if you're ready to straighten up, then you in a great day. If you want to keep on doing the evil that you've been practicing, you in a dreadful day for yourself.
Okay then. Well, thank you.
You are very welcome. And I want you to know that I'm here to help you. I'm here to help all of you all that want to be right. I'm here to help you. And I want you to know that if you want to be right, all of the wrong that you've done, that's forgiven. So you don't even have to bring that up unless you just want to get it off your chest. But don't be getting it off your chest to nobody but me. You ain't got no confession to make to nobody else out there. They've been wicked too.
Right, I do understand that.
You keep all your personal business to yourself.
Yeah.
Now, when you and I are alone and you don't get into nothing over no telephone about your business with me, I ain't gonna let you. So
yeah, I understand.
So, all right. You know, and I don't care if you black, white, don't make no difference. You ain't got to get in no thing with me over no phone. You can call me and get counseling from me, but I don't want you calling up me confessing over no telephone. No. You know, you don't have to do that. And if you don't want to, if you can live without your conscience getting on you about something, but if your conscience bothering you about something, you need to get it off, you know, when we talk personally, and then I will forgive you for it. Then you won't have to worry about it no more. Allah have given me that authority. Just like these people, they give the Supreme Court, those judges, authority to interpret and apply the Constitution. Allah have given me authority to interpret and apply his word. And as he said, the Son of Man have power on earth to forgive sins. Have you ever read that before?
I've read it before.
Okay.
Many years ago.
All right. Well, yes, ma'am. I can show it to you. If you need to see it, I can show it to you.
Well, I've read it before.
Okay. Well, then you know that if I'm the Son of Man, I have authority to forgive sins. That's why white people should be very happy to see me. Because they done did some stuff.
Well, yeah.
Better be glad I'm here to try to save them. But you want to attack me? Well, I can destroy you too. And I can do it with my word. Allah said he'd uphold my word. So all right. You got my numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. You use them. Feel free to use them. Okay.
Okay then.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Anyone else had something they wanted to ask me?
Yes, sir. You have a question from Brother Daniel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
And he asks, how was the earth created?
Oh, that's the earth. The earth and the other planets in the universe, they are like the eggs in a woman. The creation of the earth is not finished yet. Man has to be perfected. You know, I'm the beginning of the perfecting of the earth. You know, the earth has been a work in progress. See, but it's just like when you ask how I was it's just like the messenger was asked, well, when he was talking about the creation of the earth, he said many people think that Mercury was the first planet. He said no, the earth is the first planet that's created. You'll notice we the only ones with the life and as you know it, life as you and I know it. The earth is the first one that you found with that on it. So we are the first planet that's being created. And we've been working on it for trillions of years, over 78 trillion years. And so we got things pretty much straight, but now we're getting man straight. And now that we're getting man straight, soon we will be bringing other planets into a habitable state. And so we're working our way to that. That is the material that it's like when you talk about matter. Matter is not created. You don't create matter. You put matter in a form. If there had ever been a time where the universe was empty, that's what would be here now. You can't get something from nothing. The universe, contrary to popular beliefs, the universe is not even space. We call it space, but even that is not actually nothing. Even what looks like nothing is moving. That's matter. I think the scientific community calls it dark matter, but it's matter. It's just like when you and I are in a room, we think that, if there's nothing else in the room but you and I, we think there's nothing between us, but there's plenty between us. All you have to do is wave your hand and you will see that something is touching your skin. So what looks like space ain't. It's matter there. Matter is just everywhere. And so the universe didn't start off empty. It started off dense with matter. That's one of the reasons why everything's turning. In order to make a little space to work in, you turn. You notice as you turn, things that's close fly away from you. You see, and so that is one of the things that we had never thought about because our minds didn't function on that level. We didn't think that deep. You see, but the universe started off dense, and then as the mind that was in that matter began to think of ways to move that matter, just like now, you notice our minds move this matter. You can do it. You move in matter with just a thought. You see? So the thought, the mind existed before the body that the mind took up residence in. The mind fashioned the body and then took up residence in it. Do you understand? So it's a lot of things that you and I can discuss when you get to a point where you are able to ask certain questions. Then we can get into that with you. I'll be more than happy to get into that kind of conversation with you philosophically. We are not just heavenly bound. We also have the natural and the spiritual. They are one in me. And where one ends, the next one begins. You see, your mind has an end to it. You notice everything that you learn, it rises and it came out the earth. That's why he said the devil is in the earth. Well, that's because the mind that's in him came out of the stuff that come up out the earth and go back to it. That's why his civilization rises and falls. But now you have a chance to add something to your mind that will keep you from ever falling again. You see? Now this mind that I'm sharing with you connects you to the whole universe. And you can just keep learning and learning and learning and learning. And the earth will be like, I heard Dr. Tyson. He said the earth is the beach. And we can sail out into the universe from there. That's a good way of putting it. You know. So I want to let you know that if you planning on sailing out into our universe, you ain't gonna go out there wicked. You can make all the plans you want, but if you don't get your heart right and your mind right, you soon not gonna have either one. You in the Lord's day. And in my day and time, you got to get righteous. I'm here to teach you righteousness. And if you accept it, you will be saved. If you don't, you soon not going to have no mind no way. So you're looking at people already losing their minds right in front of you. So now you can suit yourself. Did anyone else have a question? Okay. And may Allah bless us, keep us safe and in our right minds. And I look forward to talking with you again Friday. And I want you all to, you go back and study, listen, study what, it's all on the internet. Study. We put every one of our meetings on the internet and you can download it and do what you want with it. It ain't trying to sell you no meeting. Okay, so, I want you to grow with me. And let's make the world a better place. Let's make a new world, a world of peace, a world of brotherhood, a world where people really do love one another as they love themselves. Let's do that, and let's do it together. May Allah's salam alaikum.
This session is no longer